It's 9:31. We're going to call this meeting to order. Monthly department head meeting, just to go around and kind of hear what everybody else is doing and hit the highlights. We've got about 30 minutes until we have yet another meeting over yet more litigation for the county, but we'll just start around. Richard, let's start with solid waste, and I don't mean that personally, I mean professionally.
Well, so our volumes are still, we haven't slowed down much since the river bins quit coming in. Right, I mean, today we got three loads going over the hill again.
I thought it was going to slow down after the holiday.
Yeah,
Teardowns.
yeah, we've got a lot of teardowns right now. So, and then the air curtain burner, we're still waiting to get our water line put in. All the locates are done. Just waiting on scheduling, essentially. So that should be up and running pretty soon here. But with the rain coming, I think in another couple weeks, even if the water line's not put in, I think we'll go ahead and fire it up.
Okay.
I think the fire danger is down enough. So.
Okay. All right, out there. Shelby, anything you would add to the how's life in solid waste?
Well, I'm going to start gearing up for stickers again. So.
And we have that meeting on the calendar for MCE,
The 10th.
the 10th,
11th.
11th.
Okay. Day after. Yeah.
Maybe it is
Tuesday.
11th.
So,
Yeah, it's the
so
Tuesday. I
speaking
won't be
of,
at that meeting because I have to work in the scale house.
Yeah, we'll
As we're
be
closed Monday.
short people that day, so I'll have to just peel away real quick and
okay, but we want to come prepared with the right questions.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have, because it's our chance. He called and had several questions, and I said I think it would be better if we had a meeting because I don't have all the questions. So, okay, all right. I almost called on your department. I'll save that one for last. Ms. Studsky.
Oh, so we're kind of gearing up for winter preparations. We're almost finished hauling our sanding material. We still have some to go, but that's kind of what we're working on this week. The Clee Creek culvert replacement is done. We were actually scheduled to pave it today. Obviously, that's not happening with the weather, so we'll try to push it into next week. We're getting close to losing our weather. Worst case, we'll kind of patch it and do a proper paving of it next year. We'll just kind of take care of it with kid gloves over the winter, but that's last resort. Hopefully we'll get some clearing up in the weather. The Miller Way slide that slides all the time, we have to clear out, which is just a little north of Clee Creek up there. Up the river. We did work on that for a few weeks, and we got the material cleared out. So we've made plenty of room. If and when rocks slide down again, we're going to be ready. But it was full; it wasn't going to take any more, so we had to get it cleared out. So we did a hard push to do that. And then we had employees from a couple of the districts working on that together. So just some time-consuming projects for the better part of the last month. We had a meeting with our supervisors yesterday, and we started talking about winter preparations. We have a couple of areas that are problem areas that we're going to start working on now, as far as encroachments in the right-of-way to get ready for plowing. Some are very, very bad, and you have a hard time getting a vehicle down the road. We're never going to get a plow through there. So we're going to start working on notification to property owners and giving them plenty of time. We want to get ahead of it before we start getting into the inclement weather. So that's what we're going to work on. We did have 6 employees complete the Road Scholar program, and they were given their certification yesterday in a meeting. So that was really positive. They're our first 6 to make it through. I didn't get to go to the ceremony because I was at a separate LTAC funding workshop. And one of the points that they talked about at the funding workshop was the importance of the Road Scholar certification and the Roadmaster certification and the T2 classes. And so I was just pleased to be able to let them know that, we had our employees working through, and we talked about the value of the program when it comes to grants and grant applications and extra points towards those. So that was pretty positive for us. And then the work for Gem Bridge is starting this week. So that'll be going on over the next several weeks, and at least we're going to get it done and finished by winter time.
Okay. Where are we on the sand shed and the gate thing up there at the government college?
So the gate is almost completed. There's still some work. The gate company that we've been working with has been lackluster, to say the least. They have been having some issues with staffing and keeping their employees. And so, jobs that they need to do that they need to bring 2 or 3 employees, they only have 1 for the day. So we've gone back and forth. The gate is installed. It's just not 100% ready to go. So I actually just reached out yesterday via email to Joel, who is my contact through the company, to let him know that we are more than ready to get that finished up, and we need to get it finished up before winter. The sand shed, we are in the process of having some plans drawn up for that. We have the trusses. We don't have the complete plans, and so from there, we're going to be seeking a building permit and trying to get that done as well.
This fall.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And the last thing I forgot, but when we're done here today, before you leave, I have a map of that wrecking yard area up there in that property.
Okay.
And I need to have you look at the boundary of it before we put it into the lease and
Sure.
get me your input on that.
Sure.
Anything further?
No, that's all I have.
Let's hear about some more life in the basement.
We are staying busy. We're kind of hitting that downhill slide with building permits. We've issued 6, but we have 8 pending for this month. Total all for the year, we've done 118 permits for the fiscal year. We've got some pending because there's issues with them or their agencies that we're waiting on comments from. We're working on the Mountain Overlay District and road ordinances, and just trying to keep those moving along.
Okay. And it's still you and Dan.
So me and Dan,
Okay. Hanging in there.
hanging in.
How's the learning curve?
It's steep, but I'm learning something new every day.
I love it. Appreciate it. Miss Colleen, what's happening in the land of dollars and grants? And
Quite a few things, a little bit of networking, a little bit of expecting grants, and some solution or some good news from what we've been doing. So had been working with the sewer districts and one of the planning part of our SOFRF, and so the South Fork had some questions on some of their planning. They wanted to expand their scopes. So working with these guys, we were able to put together some really good information to help them consider that for their expansion plans and what they'll be looking at going into it. We expect to have one of the grants, the technical assistance grant that we put in for in June. I expect to hear that by the end of this month, beginning of next month, and that will help us with our broadband planning. Yesterday, I was able to get out the request for information to all of our known ISPs. So hopefully we can, and some great news on that is Shoshone County, at least the north part of it, qualifies for a high cost build area through the FCC and NTIA, which means that our match would be waived for any BEAD funding. Great, because 20% of anything is a bit of a heavy lift these days. And that also dangles a carrot for interested providers because it increases the ACP, which is the help for low income for getting internet, and it pushes to have affordable cost of internet services. But it increases that dollar amount that comes back to the providers to 75 from the 35 that's in anywhere else. So it's just an additional help for the providers to build in those areas like up the river. bother, I had something else, I should have written it all down. Attended the workshop yesterday. There was some, with LTAC, there were some great opportunities that we can bring in community and help use community dollars to help do some of the programs, like the bike peds and, bicycle and pedestrian pathways and outreach programs. That was a lot of it. Everything's going really well with well, except for finding somebody, the diversion grant. We're still struggling with trying to find a provider to come in and fill that position. We're working with Heritage Health, and what does that look like for the counselor? What can we do to get the right person in, and how can we help them maybe just build what they need to do on this program? So we're still working through all of that, but we're pretty much ready to pull the trigger other than having the counselor on board. So we're trying to find the alternate solutions to that as we move it forward. Everything else is just getting the accounts reconciled, and had a couple requests for different types of funding that I'm researching, trying to find how to help out those departments, and we'll see if that comes to fruition.
And I'm working on a new term I'd like to introduce to your committee on ISIP. I'm finding this spring and fall that we're having more internet service intermittent providing going on at our house like every
Yes.
other day.
Yep, and that's what we're trying to solve for. Without saying too much, this process that we've been doing and the outreach that we have been doing caught the attention of one company in particular that is well-established, multi-state, has private funding, and is interested in building here. So it's been a very positive work. And we're getting requests for questions back from the RFI that I sent out, so that's very positive, and from providers that are not here and that just are curious and would like to see how to get there. Hopefully we'll get all the right solutions for this.
Any solution.
Any solution, yes. Yeah, and I'm going to use that, not just internet, but intermittent service providers. That seems to be a thing.
Bill, anything new and exciting going on in your world?
So the community wildfire protection plan, I should have the first, hopefully get it done, put together this week, and sent to Dan so he can review it. And then we can do any revisions we need to do in it. And then we'll send it to the state, have them look at it, see if it meets all their requirements. Once it does, then we'll have it out for signatures. Have 2 crews still working on units, cutting and piling. Just waiting for the state to tell us we can burn.
I'm still waiting for the state to tell us they'll pay us.
Yeah.
You know what they?
No. Because the contact that I have for that, last month he was on a fire. He came back for 2 days. Had to go to Southeast Idaho for some problems they were having down there with fire mitigation down there. I know they're still working on them, but I don't know what status they're in.
How much do we have in there on the grants? That we're waiting on?
Let's say 150.
150,000?
Mm-hmm.
Would it help to get more people involved in asking, go further up the chain?
The problem is they're so shorthanded in the grants department right now, and the people that do their reimbursements, that they're training people to do it, but it's just taking them a long time to do it.
Now, how are we on getting the grants out that are on with the ongoing projects you have right now?
We're still working. Right now, we're working on Title III. We moved away from most of the bigger grants because of the reimbursements. But as soon as hopefully we get some of our money back, then we'll probably move back onto those grants and start working on them again.
So we now we moved from not getting grants to just use Title III money?
Well, what I'm doing right now is we're into the grant season again,
Okay.
and to get proposals in. So one grant period closes October 31st, and then the next grant period opens the 1st of October and goes to usually the end of December. So we have the next 3 months to propose grants and get more grants.
Appreciate the update. Really appreciate it when you get calls and say they paid us.
You guys know before I do because they go upstairs.
Randy,
Yes, sir.
what's happening?
A bunch of little things, a few big things. Got the jury room on the second floor cleared out for the trial, so they use that for a holding area for the trial. I guess they got moved to the January now. Finishing up the demo in the library, getting ready to start framing the walls. Probably start framing and getting that squared away when I get back from my little venture back to California. Got the guys coming to fix the heater at the end of this week, first of next week. They got to replace the expansion tank. They had to go to Montana to pick it up. So, and they're going to replace the motherboard. So we have both units online again. So if one goes down, we still have heat. Right now we just have one unit. And they actually purchased two motherboards, so they'll have one at their shop. If something happens to one of our units, they'll have a part. They won't have to wait on it. They're going to be replacing several of the pipes that were leaking. The clamps that when I first got here, they were spewing out about 5 gallons a day. So they're going to take care of those while they're here, and they're going to repack 2 of the big valves. Got the sprinklers being winterized next week. Took care of the handrails out the airport. You saw those. And they'll be here to refinish the floors next week also on the main lobby here. And then she and I have a meeting with the Heritage Trust people at 10:30 about the balconies, getting some money and somebody to fix them up this next year.
Okay.
So those are interesting little structures out there. I don't know if you were aware. They're actually made out of wood and wrapped in copper. They're not concrete. They look like it just because we sprayed them with this stuff that's on the building here. So I'm going to try to get those looking better so that bring a little more of the beauty back to this building. And I was able to find new replacement globes for all the outside lights. So, and just a reminder, I'm going to, barring any unforeseen problems between now and Friday, I'll be flying out here Saturday and I'll be gone all next week.
That's when the unforeseen problems will show up.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping none on my end either. So,
What's the cord still running up to the balcony? What's that?
from what I was told, there's some lights up in that balcony, and the only way to get up into that balcony is they put those up with a cherry picker. So we need to catch somebody, or I don't know if you could even ask one of the fire departments. They come out with a big long ladder and get up in there and pull that down for us. But other than that, it's going to have to be the way it is until. I was hoping we were going to get it painted this year or pressure washed, and then I was just going to have them pull it out of there for me. So, because I don't really want to lean a ladder up against anything up there right now, the way things are looking. So, just want to kind of leave it be. But I know that cord bothers me every day. I would walk by, I just can't seem to.
Were you able to get these ground lights?
Oh yeah, I got the ground lights off. Yeah, I forgot to bus. Yeah, they're all replacing. They're working well. I've been down several times at night to check on them and adjusted one because it was shooting into the offices downstairs. So
Yeah.
Makes it look nice.
That one shooting into Public Works, that was sort of a wake up thing.
that's what it was doing. So,
Time to go home if that light comes on.
but I know when ladies ask me to do things, it's best just to do them and not,
Don't ask.
don't ask. Just yeah. I did have them when they ran redone the pipe and the wiring stuff. There is a junction box on the side if we later want to put a light on that side of the building to light the park next year. So Okay,
Appreciate it.
you got it.
Sydney, anything from your department?
I just like to ask.
Nothing in my department either.
Nothing from your department? No comments today?
No.
All right. Then we'll go to public comments.
Nothing.
Your department has nothing to report? Speaking on behalf of the people?
Nope, nothing.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you everybody for the updates. Appreciate that. And wow, we got 7 minutes to our next meeting. All right. Thank you very much. Meeting adjourned.